All right, let's see. Da, da, da. All right, so we are going to, well, welcome, 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 welcome. We are going to work on, let's see, the session info. All right, so let's go ahead and all right, let's see. We've got now what I need to do is change this all right, observable collection, peak definition. Using, okay. Right. Got a host character, we got a date, time, we got our game time info, and session name. All right, so go to definition. All right, this is, why is this complaining? Oh, okay, just took a while. Okay, so we're also going to add observable object. Let's go ahead and separate our usings. Okay. So this will give us a list of so if we go in, we're going to go to the view main page. And we have our log on. So if we run all right, you see how we've got a main page that has a UI. Nope. So we've got our little shop thing running here. So that's running. And so what we need to do is first try to figure out, okay, user collection. All right. So where we left off last time was we had this demonstration of a service that was running in the background that would let a player know when a business had something to do. So what we need to do now is have a controller that will manage the UI. So we have our main page. So we need to have I want to say a UI controller. That's probably the very next thing. So what I am going to do is I am going to add okay, so main menu view model. Main menu view model. And it's going to complain that those don't exist. But that's okay, because we're using the same pattern, and this will allow for us to fill in the gaps. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into our core, because these are basically just core objects. They're not specifically tied to anything in the game itself. They can be ported to any device. So we have the we add a singleton because we're not going to have multiple instances of a main menu. If we wanted we could add a transient, but we only really want to create this once and load it once. We don't want to keep having to reload it constantly, because there's going to be stuff in here that we will probably want to um, hang our or have an access point to. So we're going to go into core and we are going to start creating our main so I'm going to create a new class, and it's going to be called main menu view model. And we're going to change this to public. Get rid of that. All right, we're all green. And then we're going to all right, I am going to do that for now. Yes, I am going. I could take some shortcuts of designing it here and then extracting, but this is not to cut corners and use the tools. This is to teach. This is so I am going to develop most of this stuff by hand. I really don't care whether or not it gets put out, as long as some people so we're going to create a new interface, and main menu view model. All right. And make it public. And let's go to import. Import. Now it's all fixed. All right, so we now have a singleton added. Now, let me go ahead and okay, so I just loaded the game, and we're going to go into the main menu. All right, first menu item, map. All right, so all right, we're going to add a new folder called menu. And the reason why I'm going to do this is because this can get unruly with something as large as this. So we want to keep it organized. So let me All right, I was just checking to make sure whether we had any people in the chat. All right, so we are going to create a new model, and that model is going to be all right. So model menu, and this is going to be a menu item. Okay. And we're going to call it menu item info. And then we're going to go down here and we're going to create another. We're going to mirror the hierarchy, and we're going to create a new item interface. Menu item info. And got to start it with I because it's an interface. All right, we've got our now we're going to put a new string, and I'm going to put ID get string text. And the reason why we're going to have an ID and a text is the game is written in English. So we don't want to have it hard-coded to English. So the ID is what the game is going to look it up by, so that when we're localized, the text can turn an ID into your localized text. And what we're also going to do is have an observable, we're going to have a list of menu item info children. And this way we can nest. So we have our main menu, which runs across the top, such as map, brief, stats, settings, game, etc. But once you've opened the list, you then have a submenu. And that submenu can have submenus. And so on and so forth. You could literally create a menu that has 20 different layers if you wanted to. From a user experience standpoint, you wouldn't want to do that. So we're going to have just a link to a list so that we can pull up that menu item info, which will have an ID, text, children, so on and so forth. And each item, and since we called it children, C-I-T. So we're keeping them in alphabetical order. And I'm also going to we won't do that for now. I was going to put the actions in, but this is just going to be a static for version 1 of the menu. We're just going to have our visual list. So as you can see, this is a list of children, so we are going to be able to serialize this to JSON, which is really what we want to do. Because if we have a way to serialize it to the disk, we can create our menu in an external file. So the code will just be able to read the menu and not have to be recompiled. So, if you notice, you know what? I am going to change this to an int. Even better yet, we're going to introduce something, and that is we are going to do I want to, you know what, I'm just going to make it an int for now. Eventually, we will turn that into what's called an enum. An enum, well, an enum is basically a special type of int that you can assign human readable values, such as a name. So you can associate, let's say, the brief menu. Well, we could have a brief value of, let's say, 10. But we can call it brief root. And that way in code, you will be able to remember, okay, I want the brief root without having to know, well, what's the ID number? So you just have a lookup table like the public enum, and then what you can do is you can call it brief menu. Let's see, brief menu. Yeah, let's do menu value. Menu value. All right, so we could assign brief menu equals 0. And let's, all right, so that one, all right, so the very next one would be mission, help, dialogue, and notifications. So brief menu mission equals 1. Brief menu help dialogue All right, so we have our menu values. So we could assign, if you notice we're doing here, all right, public class menu item info. And I'm just going to show all right, we're going to why okay. And if you notice, it's telling me implement missing members. I'm taking a shortcut here because nope, I'm not going to do it. All right, so we've got our, and I want to do observable object. Go ahead and clean this up. Move that inside. All right. So we're going to go public all right, children, ID, and text. All right. All right, we got rid of all of those warnings. All right, so I'm going to add setters, except it did get. All right, so at least this will be able to modify. So I'm just going to show you how this ID equals menu value dot. If you notice, it allows me to cannot cannot implicitly. So what we're going to do is make it explicit. Okay, so don't need to do that then. And as you can see, it shows that I am using it. So in this particular case, we've got every menu item info that is created, it's going to be given a brief menu route. That's not ideal. That's not what we want to do. But this was just a demonstration of how when we build the menu, we can assign these. So I could have let's see, I probably will need to add new item. Menu service. And we're going to have a menu item info returns, and we're going to build main menu. Now we can make the entire menu out of one main menu item. Yes, you heard me right. So this basically can be our entire service. So let's go to our core, make a class, menu service. Menu service. It's telling me that because I put it in the interface, we're going to create our constructor with a to-do build menus. All right, so we're going to public menu item info. What did I call it? Build main menu. All right, so the only error we've got is because we're not returning a main menu. So in this particular case, when we all right, so this is going to build the main menu. This is probably going to also build some sub menus and stuff like that that are going that we may want to offload into other files. The reason why we are building this is because there's an in-game menu, there's a menu for each like business when you're like doing a motorcycle, or if you have a like the LS Customs shop, you have a menu for the LS Customs. So you will want to have uh, different menus, and you may not build them all at once and have them sticking around. You may only need them as transient. So in this particular case, we will probably want to have the main menu available. But remember, the friends menu has to be built when you um, load it. It doesn't stick around forever because your friends log off, log back in. So their menu items will want to be dynamic. So in this particular case, we're just going to return new main menu info. And now it works. All right, so we've got a main menu. That's a main menu service. And because we've created a service, we need to come in here add singleton. And that didn't work. All right, so we have our service. Now, why is the timer service oh, that's interesting. All right, so we put it in the wrong spot. That's fine. All right, and I broke my rule. All right, so we're going to main menu view model, keep them in alphabetical order. Keep them in alphabetical order. And this would be menu service. Okay. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and delete. Okay. So that got rid of one of the warnings. Let's go ahead and get rid of the warnings that we know about. Clean up our mess. Put these in alphabetical order. All right. Let me go ahead and resharper. Options. Okay, so we're setting formatting style. I'm looking. All right, place system. Code body, namespaces, block scoped. Because if we're file scoped, it puts the namespace. I don't like that, so we're due. All right, save. All right, let's. Oh, you know what? I'm going to header. File header text. All right, so what I am going to do just a second. I am going into users, me, source, repos. Hold on, I'm just doing a copy and paste. All right, so we're going to go into options, header, all right, we're going to go into, all right, I'm going to add this to the dictionary, team shared. All right, and then we're going to call this main page XAML.cs. All right, the main page. All right, so now we're going to make this 2024. All right, let's copyright. Let me go ahead and add this to ReSharper. Put this in the header, file header text. All right, so this is going to be file name, user, date, add a new variable, class, name, documentation, header value. To do. All right, we will we're going to save. All right, so if I want all right, so sort. All right, we want a full all right. As you can see, I'm just doing some cleanup. This is a good thing to always do. All right, so if I want analyze, for solution, okay. Aha, configure code cleanup. All right, apply file header, preferences. All right, let's see. Let's see if that. Let's go ahead and do EC run. And it. All right. All right. I want them inside. So let's see. let me go ahead and okay. All right, here we go. Just a second. Resharper options would be C sharp, namespace imports. Let me okay, so it's under resharper options, code editing, C sharp code style. Reference qualification. Okay, so let's look in here. Aha. Prefer fully qualified. A system. All right, let's look at using okay, I think let me go ahead and I think that might have fixed it. No, it did not. No. All right, let's options. let's, okay. So they got rid of the, all right. So we got our timer. We have our get only, get only, get only. All right, introduce read only. Right. All right, we got that. We'll fix that later. We'll do all right. We got rid of the all right. So that got rid of the warnings there. And we'll worry about using that later. Is logged in. It's never assigned. Well, duh. All right, so this is going to get return current session is not equal to null. All right, and we're going to turn that into, all right, we're down to 5 warnings. And all of these are basically to-dos. All right, so go ahead and save all, run just to make sure. And we got our main page. All right. We will go ahead and I will add desktop capture. screen capture. Let me display. All right. We'll turn that one off. All right. So now you guys can see the screen. So we've got a game that's sort of running, but we don't have anything to really So, as promised, I am going to add to the main page inside of the grid menu bar. Ta-da! All right, now we've got our column and row, and it's going to put it in the upper right corner, upper left corner. So we're going to stretch that out. Column 0, but we're going to grid column span 4. It's going to stretch all the way across. Grid row 0. All right. Now we got our menu bar. I'm going to horizontal alignment or vertical alignment. Top. All right, now we got it on the top. All right, so now that we have our menu bar, got to put some stuff in it. Well, as you could see, there was the ability to put in items. Or we can set an items and binding. We're going to have main menu. And this is going to have a visual representation of the layout. It's not actually going to work. It's just going to look like there's placeholders. So now each menu item is going to have text, ID, blah, blah, blah. So we will, once we have the items in place, then we'll worry about how they're displayed. And this is mode 1 way. All right, so main menu collection. And the reason why I'm doing it that way is we're going to have Invalid markup. Why is there save? Let's close that and reopen it. Check the error list. Aha, does not have an accessible setter. There's an, okay. Interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. So, go pilot. Aha, menu bar item has okay. As you can see, this is exactly what I was doing manually. All right, so we will take out items. Okay. So let's go ahead. So menu bar item. Okay. And of course, See, this is why. Okay. Sometimes you have to correct the AI. All right, so I know how to do menu flyout. And that's GTA 5 in real life. I mean, I'm not liking this too much, but okay. So we'll create our own menu bar because this is, as you can see, this is what I wanted. But it looks like they are using, I guess we could use a button for the menu. All right, what we'll do is button. All right, we're going to button flyout. All right, so what I am going to do, let's go ahead and get rid of the text or the code that doesn't work. All right, flyout. Let's go ahead and do this. All right, so that will All right, nobody's here. That's fine. All right. Save. Build. And we're going to run. Did I mess up? Build failed. All right, let's clean and rebuild. Sometimes. All right, line 30. Aha. Sounds like somebody's having a bad day. That sounds like the fire truck just pulled into the apartment complex. All right, so we don't want bind. We want binding. However, build. Build succeeded. All right. And as you can see, we've got our items, nothing in it. All right. And we've got a binding expression error, which means that menu items doesn't exist. So we need to go to the main view model. And as you can see, we don't have a main menu. So we're going to change the signature, add menu service, move it up so that they're in alphabetical order, leave non-compilable, Go into the app. Still, all right, we have the main menu, the menu service. So that's good. All right, and we've got our menu service in the menu. We're going to introduce a read only, just like we did here. So now we have the menu service. All right, now let's go ahead and just separate that out. All right, we're going to register the week messengers, and then we're going to do, I mean, this would normally be an initialized statement, but we're going to just, for now, we're going to create our menu here. So this menu service, build main menu, and as you can see, it is returning a menu item info. So we are going to add a main menu collection. So I'm going to create a property called main menu collection, and it's a main menu item. And you know what? We're going to call it that. And I'm actually going to just call it main menu because it's just a single item. All right. So we go into here, main page. Main menu. So, it probably will not work because actually it does work. Nope, it does not work because main menu as you can see, it's not a menu flyout base collection. Gotta love it. But that's okay. That is okay. All right. So we're going to take out this items. All right, as you can see, the menu flyout item base All right, we're going to solve this problem. We are definitely going to solve this problem. Because I don't want to build a menu flyout. All right. Yeah, I don't like this. So, go ahead. All right, I am going to, all right, go to core. All right, let's see what it comes up with. All right, let's, in just a matter of a few seconds. Okay. That is a lot of freaking code. And again, it's screwed up. This is why. Because item source is not part of menu bar item. You have to train. And of course, it's creating a freaking flyout. All right. Ugh. This is nuts. All right. So let's do. All right. We're just going to do a static menu bar. All right. So all right, we're going to do menu bar item. Da, da, da. All right. What is the, oh, content. No. Is there text? Title. Okay. Title is map. All right. Let's go ahead and make the next one brief. Stats. Settings, game, online. All right. Friends, gallery, store. Haha. Oh, I love it. All right. If you notice, all of these are capitalized, right? But then we have gallery, and then you notice that's a defect. They should have uppercased it. Yes, that's probably gotten from the Xbox Live service, but they should have two upper. So, all right, we have our menu, or at least the top item. Now, These are all buttons. So what we will do, actually, so if I do this, woohoo! Why is that not working? Okay. If you notice, each one of these does not have any content. All right, so map doesn't do anything. Brief. All right, so brief has mission, help, dialogue, and notifications. All right, menu bar item, items. Now we can put it in here. Oh, come on. Menu bar item. All right, let's try that. All right, let's see if that works. I don't think it will, but why not? Unbelievable. All right. So a menu bar is a bunch of buttons. This is why programmers get the big bucks. All right. So, as you can see, we got a problem. We have what should be easy. Oh, God. All right. If anyone has played Grand Theft Auto 5, the main menu is an overlay. I was trying to just recreate the menu simply, and UWP does not like simple. So, we're going to do it a different way. All right, so we are going to have a UI. We're going to create a new. All right, there's. All right, so we are going to create a new user control. Add user control. And we're going to add new item, SAML user control. All right, I'm going to call it UI overlay. Oh, you know what? I'm going to just call it main menu overlay control. Always end it with control. All right. And as you can see, we have blank canvas. In this canvas, the main menu has a grid. And we've got grid column definitions 2. All right. Now we have grid row definitions. Row definition 1 and 2. All right, that gives us our it's 1 o'clock and I haven't even eaten yet. I think I'm just going to give up eating. All right. Let's see. All right, so we got our row definition. Height equals auto. All right, that got rid of that. Height equals rest. The star means it takes up the rest of the space. Column definition. Okay, so we've got our application name. And that would be, so I'm going to say this would be width star width auto. All right. So as you can see, we have our so if we have our text, all right. Now this is where things get text block, text, Great Theft Auto 1. All right, we're not going to do the shading or the drop shadow yet. We will do text, the funny text. So grid column 0, grid row 0. All right, it's not complaining anymore. All right, so we've got our, now I'm going to have a what's it called? I thought it was a tab view. It's not in by default. Okay. Manage NuGet. The WinUI library. Microsoft UI XAML controls. All right. Accept. All right, we have to go into our app.saml. Application resources. All right, let's do this. Now we can go into here. All right. Build. All right. Name to do. Menu service mock object. All right. Private mock menu service. All right. Let's. All right. We got that. All right. We got our menu service. All right. I am. All right. Let's. I thought I would be able to change. Let's see. Options. This. Use this qualifier for save. Everywhere in project. Bingo. All right. we're going to put the user control grid column 0 grid column span 2 grid row equals 1 grid. I don't need row span. All right, so let's go ahead and build. Build succeeded. All right. So I need to items source. All right. This is how you build a menu. So the tabbed items are basically just a list of buttons across the top. So I will show you what it looks like. All right, so tab view item, content, map. And then we've got brief. All right, so if we go back into the main menu control, or the main page, we will comment that out. And we will main menu overlay control. grid column 0, grid row 0, and we'll add this. All right. We should at least see it. All right, as you can see, oof. All right, tab. Looks a little bit better. Add a new tab. All right, so we've got our map. We've got our brief. Ooh. All right, well, we'll have to change this so that it looks different. But as you can see, we now have content. Oh, I know what it is. Main overlay. Content. Map brief. Oh my gosh. All right. Header. Map. Ding, ding, ding. Header. Brief. And as you can see, the content we need to replace. All right. So we're getting there. I wonder. Nope, I guess tab view is so. Okay. I thought tab view was... Alright, so... Alright. Hmm. Alright, so let's go ahead and just wrap this up by doing... Alright, so we've got... Let's go ahead and go over here. Since we already did all of that, no point in header, 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 header. Alright, so that'll give us our headers. Map, brief, stats, settings, game, online. Alright, so now the header template. Main menu, tab, template. Alright, so we're going to add user control, resources, data template, key, main menu, tab, template, grid, text block, text equals binding. All right, that should give us a really. Oh, tab item template. Oh, let's just go ahead. All right, tab view item. And this is why you get paid anywhere from 45 to $85 an hour. The struggle is real. All right, so we have a main menu. Visual tree. Tab view item. So as you can see, the template is there, but of course, this template those we're going to have to create the template ourselves. This is like the bar down here, if you've ever noticed. When starting in Windows 95, those if you really looked in Windows 95, it had a title and an X in the bottom. Well, that X is gone, and they've just turned it into just an icon. But this used to be what the taskbar was in Windows 95. But instead of it being on the top, it was on the bottom. I've got a cat that has decided he wants to bother me. So we have our menu, and we will customize the menu tomorrow. I think I am going to take a break. I may be back shortly if I get bored. But as I can see that nobody has come in, so I will talk to everyone later.